Ladies and gentlemen, Florida's going to take another L. And I know I talk a lot about these parents and more specifically these mothers that end up having a bunch of children, have 3 and 4 and 5, 10 children. I think I had 2 stories with mothers who had 9 and 10 children apiece. That's too many children to be having. And I think that this story is going to be a indicator. It's going to be an example, a cautionary tale that when I say that children can be stressful, they can be a challenging thing to deal with, that's for anybody and everybody. And I would hope that people start to heed to that advice and be mindful of that before you start having children, okay? But let me give you guys a fair warning that you might find my content controversial or offensive. Information is coming from credible sources. My commentary is about the facts of this story. The point is to use this as a cautionary tale. That's exactly what this story is. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. So Florida's going to take another L yet again. A Clay County teacher has been suspended after he was arrested and accused of cruelty towards his own 1-month-old child and aggravated child abuse. That fool right here. Gabriel Quant is 41 years old and he is a Spanish teacher. 41 years old. That puts me and him almost about the same age. A Spanish teacher at Clay High School, and he was arrested Wednesday by the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. And I'm getting this from news4jax.com, so thank you for the article. Now, according to the arrest report obtained by the News, Quant was arrested after the 1-month-old child was brought to Wolfson's Children's Hospital on Tuesday with severe bruising on her buttocks and a broken leg. Let me say that again. Bruising on her rear end, and this 1-month-old child had a broken leg. This child was handled in the worst way by her own biological father. A broken leg. At this age, one of the strongest bones in a child's body is in their legs. Think about that for a moment. A St. Johns County Sheriff's Office investigator asked him what happened, according to the report, and he told an investigator that he just snapped. He snapped during a diaper change, lifted the child up by one leg, and began spanking her repeatedly. The child is 1 month removed from being born. There is no level of getting upset, getting frustrated, having a bad day. There is no level of snapping. It is a baby. That scares the hell out of me. You that damn stupid, sir? Like somebody needs to grab you by your eyelids and hang you upside down. Like you can't be that level of dumb. According to his words, because he could be completely lying. He could have just beat the crap out of this child. But he's saying he snatched this 1-month-old baby up by the leg and beat her. So he was probably hanging the child upside down and hitting the child, striking the child, I'm assuming. But he told investigators that he's been stressed recently due to the death of his mother and did not immediately realize that he injured the child. Sir, you're 41 fucking years old. Life happens. At 41 years old, guess what you start to realize? You start to realize that mortality is a real thing. We all are going to die. We are inching every day closer and closer to our death. We will all face death at some point. So if you're 40, that would mean that your parents were probably going to be older than you. And they will die at some point. And sir, if you think bringing up your mother is going to get you less time in prison or potentially get you off of a life sentence. I'm looking into the camera and I hope that he sees this or his family sees this. Hope his family members see this, because I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart. And I know a lot of y'all tune into these stories because you want to know how I really feel. And y'all want me to keep it 100. Y'all want me to keep it 100 right now? I'll do it. Sir, fuck your mother. Your mother is not and was never that important. Her memory means nothing compared to a 1-month-old baby, and it happened to be your child. That baby can't speak for itself nor defend itself. And here's what we do as parents, as real parents. We have children because we want to leave a legacy. And we have to protect those children, provide for those children, love those children, and give them every opportunity for them to grow up and become something great. And they depend on us to do that. You can't look back to the person that gave you life and say, I'm going to treat the person that I gave life like shit because I missed the person that gave me life. That's not how that works. If you ask me, I say that's unforgivable. You remember that old song, Unforgettable? This is unforgivable. This is a sin that is not forgivable. I want to make myself very clear about that. And I think that what he did deserves a life sentence. I snapped. Well, snap your ass in prison and see what snapping gets you. Snap on one of those inmates. See what that gets you. Put them in Gen Pop. See what that gets you when you snap. You're going to be snapping shoelaces and pulling them out of your ass for the rest of your life. Sorry, that's just me keeping it real. I'm going to skip all of this other foofy crap. Clay County District Schools has been made aware of the arrest of one of our teachers. The allegations against the employee are related to the events that took place off campus and not directly related to the employee's teaching duties. The district is following policy and the employee has been suspended pending the outcome of the investigation. The bond for this father, Quant, has been set at $100,000. If convicted, he could face up to 30 years in prison. I think that's about right. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys feel where I'm coming from, I'm speaking from a father's perspective. I'm speaking from a counselor's perspective. I'm speaking really just from somebody from the outside looking in that just cares about children in a way that I wish the whole world would just hop on board and believe that babies' lives matter enough to start calling this out for what it is. It's inexcusable. But hit that thumbs up if you believe in that, okay? Here we go. Let's get it.
A Spanish teacher at Clay High School has been arrested. Investigators say he physically abused his 1-month-old baby. 41-year-old Gabriel Quant was taken into custody after his daughter arrived at Wolfson Children's Hospital with serious injuries. And we want to warn you, some of the information in this arrest report is pretty disturbing. News4 Jax reporter Eric Avanier was the first to break this story online, and he joins us now live from outside Wolfson with details on that baby's injuries.
Yeah, Kent, investigators say the baby has suffered a fractured leg consistent with being twisted, and also they say that she has bruises down her backside consistent with being struck multiple times. It was inside this St. John's home where detectives say a 1-month-old baby girl had been physically abused by her father. 41-year-old Gabriel Quaint. Investigators say the child's mother was walking the family dog while Quaint was watching the baby. According to the arrest report, when the mother returned home, she noticed the baby let out a loud cry while changing the child's diaper. She also noticed bruises on the baby and asked Quaint where those bruises came from. The arrest report states that Quaint told her the bruises came from him spanking the child. The baby was taken to a local hospital and then transferred to Wolfson Children's Hospital to be treated for a fractured leg and bruises all down her backside. When investigators spoke with the child's father, he told them he had been under stress from a combination of having a new baby and the recent death of his mother. Then, according to the arrest report, he told investigators that while he was attempting to change the child's diaper, he snapped, lifted up one of the child's legs, and repeatedly spanked her. Investigators noted in the report that Quaint did not realize he injured the baby until after the child was taken to the hospital.
I'm blown away by this.
Lauren Metlin is a neighbor who often saw the couple and their young son walking the family dog. She just learned about the baby's injuries and says she wants to help.
I'll do whatever I can to support her and her son at this point, and her daughter, in whatever way we can.
Quaint is a Spanish teacher at Clay High School. The Clay County School District issued a written statement that says, Clay County District Schools have been made aware of the arrest of one of our teachers. The allegations against the employee are related to events that took place off campus and not directly related to the employee's teaching duties. The district is following policy, and the employee has been suspended pending the outcome of the investigation. Now, Quaint remains in the St. Johns County Jail tonight on a $100,000 bond. If convicted on that charge, he could face up to 30 years in state prison.
We have some new details on the local teacher arrested for child abuse. The arrest report states the child, a month-old baby, had severe bruising and a broken bone in its leg. The report says this man, Gabriel Quaint, admitted to lifting the child's one leg and spanking them repeatedly. He was then arrested. The Clay County School District released a statement. In part, it says that the district is following policy and the suspect has been suspended until this investigation is complete.
And I think about this as I give my closing thoughts. The fact that the mother took the family pet for a walk and left him with this child for a small amount of time, and you flipped out and had this level of anger when the mom was coming right back. This exemplified no patience. This really showed his worst character, and this is just no excuse at all. I know children can be frustrating, but this is just the level of stupid that is just flat out inexcusable. Now, granted, we can put a prayer hands up in the chat and pray for that child that it makes a full recovery, because we don't really know how psychologically that could damage a child, physically could damage a child. But it sounds like the baby's going to be okay, which is good. That's a blessing. So this is somewhat of a positive story that we're presenting today. But I had somebody in the chat said that out of those 30 years, he should get the whole 30. I don't disagree with that. Because the fact that you were trying to use something as an excuse to get yourself off of the responsibility of what you did to this child, I think, like I said, I think that deems that you should feel the full force of what the law is going to impose on him. That's my opinion. If we do an update, we'll just let you know how many years in prison he actually got. Okay? But thank you guys so much. Put a prayer hands up in the chat for that baby. Thank goodness that it survived. Strong baby. God willing, that baby will grow up and become something great. Babies' lives matter. Let's protect our children, okay? Thank you.